Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's an early morning in Long Beach, California. You can see we've got a very different looking ramp behind me. The coolest thing about this ramp, it actually has a spine on it. So I'm gonna drink some coffee, warm up, and I'm gonna show you 3 beginner tricks that you can learn on a spine ramp. Okay, so the first trick I'm gonna show you how to do over a spine is a rock over the spine. And a rock over the spine is when you go up, you lift up your front truck, and then you press down on the nose of your board. That way you land almost in a board side position on top of the spine. You're perfectly balanced on it. And then when you go back in, you press down on your front truck, lift up on your back truck, and you ride over the spine. Okay, so when I do this trick, I put my feet right here. I put both of my feet directly over the bolts, and I kind of keep them wide. That way when you go up the ramp, you can lift up, press down, and then lift up to go back over the coping into the other side of the ramp. Here are a few different things not to do when you first start trying this trick. 1, you want to make sure you have enough speed. Don't go slow. When you go slow, what can happen is as you go up the ramp, you actually don't have enough speed to go up and over. And so a lot of times you'll sit here, and you actually don't want to sit here in a long time. It's kind of a dangerous place to be. Make sure that you have enough speed so that when you go over, it's in the middle of your board and you can go over the spine ramp. And the second thing I would recommend, do not go too fast and lean on your back truck. What I see a lot is when people first start learning this, they go as fast as they can to get over, and they go right here, which is a little bit safer on this parking block, but on normal coping, you're gonna catch your kingpin, you're gonna get hung up, and you're gonna fall onto the other side. So make sure when you go up, you have adequate amount of speed, and then actually rock. Lift the front truck up, hit, and when you get here, press down so that you rock back into the other side of the ramp. The second trick that is super easy to learn on a spine ramp is a blunt to tail stall. And a blunt to tail stall is when you go up the ramp, you're gonna press all the way down on your tail, lift up on your front truck, land into a blunt, but then you're gonna press forward, move your body weight forward, and you're gonna go into a tail stall on the other side, and then you just drop back in on the spine ramp. So when you do this trick, there's a few different places you can put your feet, but really I think there's only one that makes sense. And for me, I put my front foot directly over the bolts, just like the rock. And then the last one, you're gonna put your back foot on the tail. That way it's easy to put pressure, and you can get into that blunt stall. I have one thing I would recommend not doing when you first start trying this trick, and it's to go too fast or too slow. If you go too fast, one of the things that's gonna happen is you're gonna land maybe too far down, and you're gonna fall and slide out. The other thing I would highly recommend is you also don't wanna go too slow. You wanna have the right speed. If you go too slow, you're gonna end up in a blunt and you're not gonna be able to get over it. So make sure that you have enough speed, and then also lean forward with your body weight so that you go into the tail stall position before you drop in. The third easiest trick to learn on a spine ramp for beginners is the backside feeble stall. And it's when you go up the ramp, you're gonna turn almost 90 degrees backside, lock in your back truck, your front truck's gonna go up over on the other side of the spine, bend your knees, and you're gonna go back down regular. So when I do a backside feeble over the spine, I put my front foot still directly over the bolts. My back foot goes on the tail, and I'm kind of in this pocket so that I can push it 90 degrees, lock in my back truck, but still have enough control so that I can go back over into the spine ramp down to regular. things that will help you do this is when you go up the ramp, as you approach the ramp, lift up and then put all the pressure on your toes. That way you're able to scoop 90 into the feeble, and as soon as you hit, instead of the pressure being on your toes, you move all of that pressure onto your heel. That way you're able to go back into the ramp. And then when you go back over, when your pressure's here, all you have to do is lift up and you go directly back in regular. One of the things I would recommend not to do is don't turn your shoulders. When you go up the ramp, you want to keep them perpendicular to the coping. That way when you go up and you turn and you go in regular, your shoulders are still set up so that you go back regular. If you turn too much when you go over the ramp, you're actually going to try to go back fakie, which is super sick, but you don't want to do that yet. Learn how to do them regular and then learn how to do them fakie. All right, so those are 3 beginner spine tricks that you can go learn on your local mini ramp or your local skate park. But I also want to teach you a 4th one because it's super fun, a little more advanced, but it's one of my favorite tricks to do on a spine, and it is a layback rock to fakie. A layback rock to fakie is when you go up onto the spine, you get into rock, but you also drop your back hand with your thumb up. You grab the coping, and then as you go back into the other side, you revert backside 180 degrees while only keeping one hand on the coping, and then you roll away fakie. So when I do this trick, when I set up for it, my feet are in a very similar position to the backside feeble stall. My front foot is directly over the bolts, and my back foot is here, kind of in this pocket. That way I know that I can do that backside 180 revert with my hand on the ground because I have a little bit of power to scoot it to do so. I'm gonna show you one thing you should do when you're doing this trick, and that's where to put your hand. When you go up the ramp, you're gonna turn your hand and it's gonna look like this. You wanna make sure your thumb is on one side of the coping and all 4 of your fingers are on the other side. When you grab like this, it actually makes it easier to turn your shoulders, to turn your entire body into 180 backhand fakie on the spine. One of the things I recommend not doing is get into the rock and then put your hand down. You actually wanna do it at the exact same time. So when you go up the ramp, you're actually reaching forward and putting your hand down the same time you land in rock. If you go in board and then you drop down, it's a different motion and you're gonna be falling too far forward to still have balance on your board to go back fakie. So make sure as you go up, hand goes down the same time as the board comes onto the coping. All right guys, there are 3 beginner tricks and 1 super fun intermediate to advanced trick that you can learn on the spine ramp today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like this video, it really does make a difference. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you want to see more videos featuring this mini ramp, click on these videos right here. We've got a full Airbnb tour as well as some other sessions. Check them out.